Alright, well, no messing around, alright, clean game, no fouls, like, you know, call your own if you do them, and keep them, you know, have a look down here, like this, alright, like this. I'm scared. Settle down.
He makes the big run, and he pulls it off. Sorry. Oh! Oh! Oh. 7-6. That's it. Give it up. Better one last night takes it out. St. Clair Saints with a very, very close section. Beautiful.
Zach took his shoes off. I'm exhausted from playing basketball, but I'm pumped for Krosswerdz. We got burnt by the young dudes because they're young and we're old. Mate, 10 years ago, we would have burned you, man.
Bitterness.
Because you would have been like 8 years old.
Well, I can't play basketball. Yes, sure. I represent on the floor with all the y'all. Like a b-boy or a graffiti white. I'd like to send a shout out to all the freedom fighters. Check. On the MIC, my name is MISTERY. I like to bring it from the history books. As you look at the words are turning, on the walls my cans are burning. I hope you're learning from the teacher. A man Marcelo is a preacher. After this, who'll be bringing the words, understand the shout for all the verbs.
Check it out, man. I'm man tired, but Krosswerdz is on now, so I'm feeling all inspired. I'm all wired, knuckles and take cocaine. I preach the gospel and I do it with no shame. For every breath we breathe,
we give you thanks and praise.
For meeting all our needs,
we give you thanks and praise.
For the peace we feel,
we give you thanks and praise.
For how you keep it real,
we give you thanks and praise. For the sun and the moon, we give you thanks and praise. For what he's done for you, for your love and truth.
Alright, let's do one more time. For every breath we breathe,
we give you thanks and praise.
For meeting all our needs,
we give you thanks and praise.
For the peace we feel,
we give you thanks and praise.
For how you keep it real,
we give you thanks and praise. For the sun and moon, for what he's done for you, for your love and truth.
we give you thanks and praise.
We know you're coming soon.
We give you thanks and
And you guys have been around for quite a while, I'm led to believe.
Yeah, on and off and on again.
Yeah. So Nomads first got together in the 80s?
Yeah, well, John and I went to school together in the 80s. He was like a local DJ providing beats for the break crews and stuff. I was in a break crew back then.
Cool.
Pretty ordinary, the Energy Wizards. Yeah, we won't go too far there, mate.
I knew it was going to be a name like that. Anyway, sorry.
And yeah, he used to put the beat tapes together and stuff like that. And yeah,
I was too tall and uncoordinated to break.
So yeah, and they were good days. And yeah, we just started getting into hip hop more and more and enjoyed it and thought, yeah, let's have a go at it. Started making beats and rhymes and stuff in the bedroom, like a lot of people do. And yeah, we got some opportunities early on through you guys and through, you know, the crowd at the time, Urban Poets and a few other the real old school dudes, they're fish guys.
And you had a bit of a hiatus. I remember when we met up, you had just become Christian.
Yeah.
And you were, you know, wasn't quite sure if hip hop was what God was wanting you to do.
Yeah, that's
and sometimes
right.
I still wonder that when I see you guys perform, but
yeah, I just prayed and surrendered it to him and said, look, whatever happens, happens. And it was very clear to me that I had to give it a break at that time, and I didn't know what was going to happen. That was back in the early 90s, and things were kind of going well for us back then too, but it was a really hard decision. But in another sense, I knew that my life was taking a different direction at that time, so yeah.
And then God sort of brought it back into your life, and how did that sort of...
Well, that was just ridiculous, because I mean, it had been quite a few years. It had been about 12 years, and I had just totally, you know, resigned myself to the fact that it was pretty much over, and I'd done a bit of singing and guitar playing and stuff like that at church, and I thought that was, you know, what I was going to do. And yeah, just kept having crazy dreams about rapping with John and rapping about spiritual things and doing parties and stuff like that, and I kept rebuking the devil and going, what's going on? You know, this isn't for real. And one thing led to another, and so many things just fell into place that I could no longer deny that this was the plan for me. And yeah, it was a big step. And I mean, I totally been out of the scene for a long time, and to get back into it, yeah, it was a big change, very big, totally unexpected.
Cool. Well, we're looking forward to seeing what's happening now. So without any further ado, give it up, Fonke Knomaads!
Thanks,
Right now it's like I'm hanging in the balance, up in the air like a seesaw. What's more weighing me down is the trust they delegate. Man, I'm too young for this heavyweight. I got no time for the strings attached. Take me back to where the roots get back. And the kids in the street made a game where they put 2 sticks in a rock. Now did they feel complete? Yeah, drinking on the red hot road. It was cool. I hung in the gum trees, man. Come on, fool. I miss my Xbox, trying to throw my book in. How about the airport? Get a ceiling fan, but that won't warm me up. Yeah, I'm so good. A little exercise will really do me some good. Yeah, it's time to unload. Time to take stock. The beats ain't the end, just the road. It seems to be. It seems to be. The more you have, the more you have. The more you have, get all the things you have. So, come on, don't you lift your head. Get up, get up, get up. Got to be for the funk. Got to be for the jazz. Got to be for your soul. Taste the blues with the lid up. Get up, stand up, be up, be up. The heavyweight, ground in the spirit. Good old yesterday, we made the past is past. The future's before me. The bells come forth from the life that paid the price. Payment is paid. Check the balance sheet, come and evade. The purpose, the reason, the gift is given. The luck is living. My spirit is free. My lid is lifted. Free. All the witness is free. All the legacy, the way it's shifted from the self to the center. See, we got the chance to expand possibilities. Make sure that things get a bit up. Get up and go. Go, 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 go ahead. Go, lift your head. Get up, get up, get up. Won't you lift your head? Get up, get up. At Krosswerdz, won't you lift your head? Get up, get up, get up. Won't you lift your head? Get up, get up, get up, get up. Let me hear you say Krosswerdz, 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 Krosswerdz.
This is a bit that I love. The God who gives life to the dead and calls things that are not as though they were. So I think that's the way God sees us a lot of the time. It says there that He's the God who gives life to the dead and sees things that are not as though they were. So He doesn't work on the same visual perceptions that we work on. He sees something and He goes, yeah, I know everyone else sees it that way, but not me. And so He looked at Eve at one point and said, everyone thinks you're a loser, but not me. So I'm going to do something in your life. I'm going to turn it around. Because everyone thinks you're going nowhere, but not me. Everyone's saying it to you, but not me. See, a lot of the reasons why sometimes we see a situation or we see a person, we see our own lives or whatever, and think this is going nowhere, this is not going to change, is because we believe that it is a hopeless situation. The reason we believe it is a hopeless situation is because we've tried everything to do to turn it around and nothing's changed. And also the reason why it's so hard to have faith is because we don't believe that God has the power to do anything about it. Let's be honest. A lot of the times we think it's rubbish. Whether you've been in church or not, a lot of the times we sit around and we think it would be nice if God did something now, but to be perfectly honest, I don't really believe He is capable of doing it. Search your hearts and really think about it. But believing that God has the power to do it is the key.